Before I started speaking. But it is Cicely and I that give Jennifer to be married. On behalf of John and Camille and Cicely and myself, Will and Jen, I'd like to thank you all for being here. I know that many of you came a long way. Jennifer and I sat down a couple nights ago and counted, and I think there's 9 states sitting out in those chairs. It means a great deal to us to know that we mean a great deal to you, and we thank you for coming. Will and Jennifer have selected a couple of scriptures that they would like read. One is Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12. The other is Ephesians 5:21 through 33. Colin and Brian, can you read those, please?
2 are better than 1, because they have good return for their labor. For if either of them falls, the one will lift his companion. But woe to the one who falls when there is not any another to lift him up.
You okay? Good. When God had created everything, when He had created the heavens and the earth, and He viewed all that He had created, there was still something missing. And what was missing was love. So God created us. Created you, He created me, because God desired to love. And He wanted something or someone to give that love to, and someone to return that love to Him. Love is the nature of God. 1 John 4:8 says that God is love. And what God is, God has also put in us. And that's why in each of us, there's an embedded desire for connection, for affection, for affirmation, for intimacy, to love and be loved. This is not going to be easy. Because that's in each of us. Though it's hard for a father to wrap his brain around it, I knew that was in you, and that someday, this day, would come. So, Will, I wanted to share something with you. And you know that long before you knew us, before you knew and loved Jennifer, I knew Jennifer. And I loved her. And she was my little girl. You know, one of my favorite times when the kids were little was bedtime. Life was always busy, but I tried when I could to get home in time to tuck the kids in bed. And I remember we kind of had a little bit of a tradition as I would tuck them in. Sounds corny now, but I'd tuck them in, I'd sing to them, not very well, and as they fell asleep, I would pray. I prayed for life, for the future, and Will, I prayed for you. Because I knew that somewhere out in the world, there was a little boy that would grow into a man and someday show up and ask for Jenny's hand. And as you guys met and started the date, I knew that it was you. And what I prayed for was a man that was honorable, that was kind, that was spiritual, with which she could feel safe, with which she could laugh and be happy. And I share that with you just as a reminder that your being here is not a coincidence or some cosmic twist of fate. It was prayed for, and God has delivered. You guys are great together. You make each other happy. Anyone around you can see it. And that makes me happy, and it makes your mother happy. Now I get to give you guys a little bit of marital advice. In Ecclesiastes it says that two are better than one. So I want to share with you a few things that I think make the two better than one. There's others. But when I thought about you, these were the ones I thought I'd share. The first, and it doesn't sound very romantic, but to be better together, you got to put in the work. I suppose it seems self-evident, but sometimes maybe the obvious is overlooked, but the scripture talks about helping others up. Well, you can't help someone up if you don't extend a hand. You're keeping someone warm. You can't keep them warm if you're not laying beside them. And you can't defend a friend if you're not willing to fight. So you got to put in the work to do good. You also got to put in the work to be vulnerable. And that means allow the other person to put work in with you. Jennifer, Will cannot reach down or reach out to help you up if he doesn't know you're down. And Jennifer, if you don't know that Will is feeling lonely or cold, how do you know to make him warm? So be vulnerable with each other. Ask each other. If you need something, say it. The second thing is, allow your spouse room to make you better. You know, I heard a story a little while back about a man who took his young son to a wedding. And they were at the wedding, the bride was walking down the aisle. The bride and groom are looking at each other with excitement and anticipation. And the son leans over and says to the dad, "Dad, I've heard that in some parts of the world, the bride and groom don't even know each other on their wedding day." And the father says, "Son, that happens everywhere." A couple of the older couples chuckle because they know it's true. You guys are going to go on a journey together. You're going to share your life together. And as you do, you're going to grow. You're going to change. You're going to mature. You're going to learn things about the other person. And you're going to learn things about yourself. think it's important that each of you give each other permission to be honest, to be vulnerable, to be transparent. God has put Jennifer in your life, and God has put Will in your life, and He's brought you together for a reason. Allow that relationship to nurture you. And if you both do that, you become better together. So the challenge, guys, is not to try not to change. You're going to change. The challenge is to try not to grow, because you're going to grow. The challenge is to change and grow together. You have a responsibility to not only be honest with each other, but I want you also to think about creating an environment where the other feels like they can be honest with you. That's the stuff of a strong marriage. And look, it's not going to be easy. Not all the time. You guys are going to make mistakes. You're going to trip. You're going to stumble. You might even take a fall. Forgive each other. Be there for each other. Trust each other's motives. That you're both of goodwill. Be quick to forgive. The third thing in Ecclesiastes is the third chord. So I ask you guys to continue to do what you've been doing, and that is to keep that third chord of central importance in your relationship. You know, when the girls were little, I tried, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times to braid hair. I don't know why I couldn't do it, but I don't know if I couldn't do it, I don't know, I just couldn't figure it out. But what I did learn in the process of trying to braid hair is that a braid of 2 strands, it doesn't stay together very long. Okay, no matter how many rubber bands, no matter how many clips I put in, as soon as they got up, started to run around, thing would just slip apart. When Cicely did their hair, she weaved in a third cord, a third braid. And it got sticky. And it would stay together. It's the same thing here. That third cord makes a marriage sticky. In Ephesians 5, that was read, Ephesians 5 talks about the roles and responsibilities of the husband and wife. And I don't want to read through them all, but they're beautiful. And they're meaningful. And toward the end of that passage, after talking about the husband and the wife and their specific roles or responsibilities, the author says this is a profound mystery. But what I'm talking about is Christ and the church. And we see that God's plan for our marriages is to model the relationship that Christ wants to have with us, His church. And you read that, and the parallels come to life, including the 2 of you here. There's one groom. There's one God. There's one bride. And there's one church. And through the affection and intimacy of that union, fruit is born. And the family grows. That is my one and only pitch for grandchildren. You see, it's God's hope that through our marriages that He be revealed. And it's a challenging and it's a beautiful calling. But it's a calling that you 2 are soon going to share. I'm very proud of you guys. I love each of you. And despite the tears, this is a very, very happy day. Let's get married. Will and Jen have written their own vows. Will, you have your vows with you? Could you please read those vows out loud?
Jeannie, I take you today to be my wife. Life partner and best friend. I will love you unconditionally and always choose to support you and encourage you as you grow as a person and as a child of God. I vow to always keep God the center of our lives and guide us both to serve Him together. I promise to always honor, respect, and listen to you, and always forgive you as Christ has forgiven me. Together, we can build a home filled with laughter, compassion, and hard work. And from this day forward, I will care for you, stand beside you, and share with you all of life's adversities and joys. You will forever be my best friend, and in the words of Forrest Gump, I love you, Jimmy.
I've dreamed of being with someone who cherish, love, and support me, and you have made my dreams come true. Saying yes to this adventure with you has been the best decision I've ever made. Every time I'm with you, I fall in love with you more and more. I could not want anything more than to be your bride for the rest of my life. Sorry. Thank you for your steadiness when I'm shaken, for your love when I'm hurting, and for your forgiveness when I'm undeserving. Today, I vow to respect you as a man of God, to support you as an individual, and to follow you as a leader. I vow to dream big with you and to create memories with you every day. I vow to center our marriage around our faith in God, and I vow to love you with all my heart today and every day.
Will, please look at Jennifer. Do you take Jennifer to be your lawfully wedded wife? And do you promise to love her, to honor her, and to cherish her in sickness and health, in times of plenty or in want, forsaking all others, until death do you part?
I do.
Jennifer, do you take Will to be your lawfully wedded husband? And do you promise to love him, to honor him, and to cherish him in sickness and health, in times of plenty or in want, forsaking all others, until death do you part?
I do.
Tim, do you have a ring? Will, please place the ring on Jennifer's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol and pledge
as a symbol and pledge
of my constant faith
of my constant faith
and our abiding love.
and our abiding love.
And I take you, Jennifer,
And I take you, Jennifer,
as my wife.
as my wife.
Sandra, take a ring. Please place the ring on Will's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol and pledge
as a symbol and pledge
of my constant faith
of my constant faith
and our abiding love.
and our abiding love.
And I take you, Will,
And I take you, Will,
as my husband.
as my husband.
Will and Jennifer, under the laws of the state of Colorado and the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, I can now pronounce you
husband and wife, Will, and kiss your bride.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, introducing for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. William and Jennifer Gentry.
Well, you gotta look to her to get that answer.
You're getting color on it. I'll get you
Photos for their page. Here. Do you want a fork or just their fingers?
fingers, I guess. Oh, on that.
All the colors of the evening sun on your sweet face take me home. Like the fullness of the midnight moon, pure and simple. I love you. So if you hold the hands of faithfulness, I can't let up. Mad for you. It is good to find a lover in this life. Take her to the water and never ever leave her out to dry. But my father always sang this chord: set your eyes upon the Lord. Set your eyes upon the Lord. Oh, the feeling when I kissed your mouth, middle of night, such relief. Ain't no currency to buy your heart, pure as gold is. What reward? And it is good to find a lover in this life. Take her to the waters and never ever leave her out to dry. But my father always sang this chord: set your eyes upon the Lord. Set your eyes upon the Lord. Look at the two of you dancing that way, lost in the moment and each other's face. So much in love, you're alone in this place, like there's nobody else in the world. I was enough for her not long ago. I was her number one, she told me so, and she still means the world to me, just so you know. So be careful when you hold my girl. Time changes everything, life must go on. I'm not gonna stand in your way. I loved her first, I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I prayed that she'd find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. How could that beautiful woman with you be the same freckle-faced kid that I knew, the one that I read all those fairy tales to, and tucked into bed all those nights? And I knew the first time I saw you with her, it was only a matter of time. I loved her first, I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I prayed that she'd find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. Someday you might know what I'm going through, when a miracle smiles up at you. I loved her first.